Alright, let's figure out what we're doing. Hi, Drake. Thank you for coming in, I appreciate that. You are today's first. Oh man, I'm so happy. I just looked at my viewer list. No viewer bots today. Not a single one. Oh, feels good. So fucking glad Twitch finally allowed us to get rid of those people. 35 delusions is apparently... Wait, no. No, that's not max level, because I believe I have a delusion I can't spend currently. Okay, so 34 delusions. I guess, yeah, because I guess you start with 1 or 2 in all of these. So yeah, after 32 delusions. I maxed it out. Oh, that was interesting. I started stuck in the floor. Oh my god, I forgot how zoomy we are even before I've used any spells. So, but yeah, we're not doing safe passage because we're already in the Clockwork Kingdom. Yeah, we're looking for... the mountains north of Ferropolis. Yeah, and a graveyard. But I think everything we're doing... Oh, what the hell? There we go. I think everything we're doing requires us to be... over here. We're gonna zoom! Ah, I got stuck on something. And then... over to the right was the main storyline. And we were doing stuff over here. I checked that. I checked... Did we check up here? That appears to be locked. Okay, so no, we have not done anything there. We did open up... Yeah, we did open up that shortcut, okay. God, I only need to, like, not play for a day and I forget everything that we were doing. We were up here somewhere. Yeah, there. That's the last thing we did. The absolute last thing we did was get the locket there. So let's start taking a look around, see if we can figure everything else out. I don't think I've been here. I don't have the compass equipped currently, but... that's the Endless Realm. Here's the Clockwork Kingdom. So they say the mountains north of Ferropolis. I'm here. Wait, no, that's not where I am. If I check this, then I should be like over here somewhere, right? Wait, what? I'm trying to figure this map out. Oh, I guess I am... Oh, so this is the okay, okay, no. Now I get it. Now I get it. But, yeah, north of Ferropolis. That's, like, over there, and there was nothing I could do over there. Unless I need to go somewhere else to find the key into that building first, and that building is the thing I need. Oh, I guess I have been here. Okay, fine. No worries, Drake. Well, that was the, this is the cleanup place here. And then I guess, yeah, I guess up here is where I need to go. Hello. Anyone or anything could be corrupted out here, so you better keep your distance, tourist. Alright, fine, fine, fine. I would happily wear one of your suits. Oh wait, no, I've been here. I actually never. I thought the camp was the last thing I'd done. But I do remember doing this. And jumping in through the hole in the ceiling here. Yeah, and I went over there because over there was the City of Progress. I guess there isn't really that much left to check. Sealed by an unseen device. Oh, god damn it, I have to unplug my controller. Been happening more and more lately where my controller will interfere. Like I'm trying to walk around or run around and my character will just stop dead in their tracks. I don't know if it's because my controller accidentally presses back or something. Sealed by an unseen device. Well, I mean, this looks like it. So that's what it looks like when there are lore objects nearby. They glow blue like that. Good to know. 20 stamina. Why the fuck would I need stamina? Like, stamina? I don't even use stamina when I run anymore for some reason. So like I don't really know. Yeah, I mean I guess swinging takes up stamina, but I regenerate it so fast. Well, there's the City of Progress over there. Wait, what is that? Is that a person? Oh, hi! This clinic worker is tearing hungrily at a hunk of black bread like a rabid dog. They do not respond except to make an obscene gesture at you. Okay. Alright, this kind of sucks because now I've been everywhere. Dreamer's Reprieve. Oh wait, yeah, I do have that thing where I need to go up into the person that told me to bus off. Yeah. Okay, well, yeah. So the mountains north of Ferropolis is not in the Corrupted Lands. That's going back to that other area where they. Yeah. Okay, now I remember. The graveyard northwest of Ferropolis, however. Are they talking about the the object graveyard? Okay, I'm not even... Okay, so we are done in the Corrupted Lands. I'm not even supposed to do anything here anymore. I thought... Damn, I thought the graveyard I was looking for was in the Corrupted Lands because I thought it was somewhere I hadn't been, but it's the object graveyard. I thought they were talking about, you know, a graveyard for people. Okay, I'm guessing this is going to be quest-related later then. But then I have to figure out how to get back up to that lady. Is it that up there? I think it's that up there. Hey, Madeline. Welcome on in. Morozov's parcel. Bulky parcel stained with blood addressed to B. Morozov. That wasn't here the last time I came up here. Yeah, this is it. Okay, I found it. I guess that'll be an excuse for them to let me in. Necromantic experiments. When you say necromantic, it sounds weird because all I'm hearing is the romantic part of that. Oh no, this is not it. Never mind. What is this place? Damn, I didn't realize there was one coming down the stairs. I got backstabbed. Oh, there's a lot of them coming down the stairs. Holy shit, there's a lot of you guys. That's a big one. It's a special one because it glows blue. Is this where I was told to buzz off? I guess it must be. Does that mean Morozov is dead? Can't do anything with this machinery. I wouldn't be surprised if Morozov turns out to be dead. Yeah, I have not been in here, but I have been up in this area before. Oh, wait, that's... Okay, never mind. That's not the building. Well, this certainly isn't either. Is this it? The machine emits a buzz, then a distorted human voice. Go away, nobody's home. Oh, this is it. Okay. I'm looking for Morozov. Is this the right tower? Bzz. Never heard of him. Cleanup worker Cohen sent me. Said you could help me. A pause. You said Cohen. Cohen sent you. It follows a string of barely intelligible curses that would whiten a sky sailor's hair. I was like, there's no love lost between you. Listen, sweetheart. I'll hear you out for old time's sake, but this ain't no charitable order. You want me to scratch your ass, you better scratch mine. I'm waiting on a delivery, 2 weeks late now. Odds are the courier met their maker trying to get through that old ruined factory on the way here. Bring me that parcel, then we'll talk. Actually, I have your parcel right here. A long pause, then a loud clunk. Doors unlocked, wipe your boots. Everyone says that. I guess to not bring corruption in. Right. I need a skull implant. Shove some machinery in me. Scrap daddy. Or mommy. I'm actually not sure if Morozov is male or female. I'm still not sure. There's some very androgynous people in the Clockwork Kingdom. Especially when a lot of them use they instead of he and she. I'm gonna take a look around before I talk to you. See if you have stuff for me to steal. Aha! You do! What do you have? Terrifying bottled vision. Perfect copy of a single vivid dream. These lurid fancies are a subject of a feverish moral debate in the Union. This one is by A. Corsi and contains scenes of academia and severe paranoia. I've been using every one of these I come across just for the meme. Imagine letting me in, and then I just walk right past, go upstairs, and fucking pass out. Within a few minutes of emptying the bottle, you fall into a deep yet restless sleep. You're trying to join the Machinist Guild, but every time you go to take the exam, you're foiled by malevolent shadows that no one else can see. You enlist your own shadow to help, only to find yourself becoming dimmer and foggier while it grows ever more substantial. You wake up with the feeling... Oh, sure. Oh, I've not been sleeping very well. You wake up with the feeling you're being watched. Alright. Hello. The stout aging Machinist looks surprised to see you. What? How'd you get inside? Get out of here right now or my security will fry you to a crisp. You let me in? What? Why in the hell would I do that? I'll have you know I'm in the middle of something very important, in the middle of some very important work. You notice that cheaply bound romance options. Cheaply bound romance, open spine up beside her. Oh, it's a woman. Plus stacks of dirty plates and half-empty teacups. Here's your parcel. The courier didn't make it. She snatches the parcel with alarming speed and tears it open, revealing a clutch of bottled visions. Oh. Well, that explains that. Oh ho ho! Well, if it ain't the latest Metcalf, come to Mama. You seem to remember your presence. Why are you still here? You said something about Cohen? I need a Machinist skull implant so I can speak to the corrupted. Morozov listens to your tale with escalating incredulity and frequent interjections. Say, what? Get the fuck out of here. Are you serious? Once you finish, she laughs. Darling, how can I put this kindly? You're nuts. Absolutely certifiably bats in the belfry, 6 teeth short of a cogwheel over the rainbow doolally. You want me to misappropriate royal resources to perform a strictly regulated technosurgical procedure on an unsanctioned stranger who ain't part of the Machinist Guild? Also, you could trace one poor missing fuck? Yeah, yes. Burr, 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 burr. Yes. She cackles. I love it! Listen, I must install these implants into hundreds of damn fool kids. And for what? Also they could spend the rest of their lives bossing people around and suckling on the king's copper tit? I promise you I won't be doing that. Morozov ignores you as she begins gathering up books. Notices an alarming looking medical instrument. Oh, wait. Begins gathering up books, notes, and alarming looking medical instruments. I'm sorry, I'm so tired. Now listen, sweetheart. Getting the brain to accept a big hunk of gear as part of itself ain't exactly a cakewalk. I need a slice of meat that's got deep connections to all the rest. Pick a person, someone you really cherish, see? Someone that made you who you are. You're gonna forget him, and I'll stick the cranial moderator in their place. It'll be as dear to you as they were. Don't tell me about him. I don't care. Just think of him. Say your goodbyes, eh? Forget your parents. Forget your first love. Forget your best friend. Forget your mentor. Forget your first love, I guess. That's right, just like that. Come to mama. Fall into a black and timeless place. When you come to, your head feels heavier than before. Stupid thing, where'd I leave it? Well, hey now, look who's awake. How you doing, sweetheart? Bleh. Truer words were never spoken, hon. Well, it seems the moderator went in nice and smooth. Congratulations, you're part machine. What can I do now that it's installed? Now you can understand the six-fold cipher language of our glorious king. Read it, write it, speak it, hear it, or shove it up your ass for all I care. Maybe I should go talk to the king. All that makes sense to you? I will never understand how a person can be so wrong. Like, just objectively. Are there any drawbacks? Oh, sure. Watch out for migraine, seizures, deafness, blindness, aneurysms, nightmares, prophetic dreams, mental decline, partial or total amnesia, paranoia, delusions of being dead, religious ecstasy and or agony, out-of-body experiences, Wycliffe's idiocy, Wycliffe, gangrene. You want to come in for a checkup every few years. Some of those metals are a little toxic. Worst of all, whenever someone has a problem with the king's magic, they'll ask you to fix it. I should have farmed silk slugs. All make sense to you? Thanks, I guess we're done here. Don't mention it, darling. No, really, don't. In fact, leave my tower, don't speak to me again. Nothing personal, but I got a hot date with a cheese wheel that I've been saving. Actually, there's something else we must discuss. Can't you leave our girl in peace? What do you want now? Can I ask you some questions? Doesn't seem like I can stop you. What do you want to know? Tell me more about yourself. Name's Morozov. I'm a cranial engineer, which means I know how to jam a bunch of clockwork into your brain without turning you into a prize cabbage. As if that weren't talent enough, I'm God, I hate how these people talk. I'm also one of this kingdom's most prolific dreamers. You ever tried a bottle vision? Chances are you've sampled the fruit of this crafty old noggin. She knocks on the side of her head. So you're involved in the vision trade. Involved? I practically keep it in business. I sell a lot of visions, but I buy too. You might call me a connoisseur. You gotta know good art to make good art, right? Vision trade's about the only business we got left in this kingdom. And it ain't hard to see why. Folk outside the kingdom go crazy for it too. I guess however bad things get, our dreams are still worth something. What else do you want to know? What are you doing all the way out here? I saw all this coming, you know? The winter, the corruption, all of it are close enough. It didn't take a genius to see things would get bad. It's all there in the royal output logs, not to mention right before your eyes. So I made a big noise about needing peace and quiet for my work. What can I say? Your girl's a drama queen. Guild gave me this tower, and here I am in blessed isolation. At least until some galoot like you shows up. You're remarkably frank about the kingdom's problems. She grins toothily. A rare quality, ain't it? But what are they gonna do, hang me? Then who'll keep all their own skulls ticking away and fix up the new recruits? The guild loves to eat its own, but all the other cranial engineers got eaten long ago. Go ahead, report me. They love to shoot the messenger, too. What else do you want to know? That's all my questions, I guess. Oh, I thought that was going to be repeating dialogue. God damn it. Do you truly think there's no hope? You can always hope, darling. Be my guest. Are we done here? Ain't got all the... Okay. Yeah, I definitely missed something she said there, because I thought since I was, like, saying... Since we were done and I was just asking optional questions, there wasn't going to be much more. Let's finish up what we're in the middle of first. Because I can go to the graveyard and do whatever that was, but... Let's head back and have a chat with little lady that's missing. And then I'm probably going to want to go talk to the king just because now I'm curious about the language and what he's saying, like my like ultimate mission or whatever is. God damn, you're so fucking fast in this. Oh, wait, there it is. Oh, I just left the door open. You feel the clockwork in your skull grind into furious motion as it translates the corrupted one's speech. Beginning at the end for want of finitude. Aporia, only the facts if you please. Alas, threshing engine 111 cannot be saved. Or 3, I guess, maybe? It looks like 3 ones. When would you listen? In catatonic bustle round and round. Congratulations, you've been accepted. Away, we'll haul away together into Royal Project Horoscope. Alas, threshing engine 3 has suffered yearning unbefitting of its station. Bastards, useless fucking bastards. Edict, no one listens. Show the locket. Do you recognize this? Stares at the locket as if hypnotized. The corrupt one becomes visibly agitated in its movements and speech. Edict, stop slouching. Water trickling gently through the park. Please listen. Alas, fault in status check. Unlatch, reseat. He loves you, dearie, even if he doesn't show it. Alas, cannot exist. Subject, I fucking, again, wish I knew. I know some Roman numerals, but I always get D, M, C, L, all of those ones. I always get them mixed up. Petition is hereby granted. Please listen, entreaty. We are sorry to inform. What happened to you? Denied and thrice denied. Attention all workers. This is a disaster warning. I kept meaning to write before only. Petition. Soil then hang thyself. Unlatch. Reseat. Alas, in accordance with Project Horoscope. Parameters. Please listen. Can you tell me your name? Dear Pa, I am writing to tell you. Clean each crystal head thrice daily until record of faults. Help us we are lost. And enclose this locket, which I hope shall always remind you. Please listen. Edict. All prior common names are hereby annulled and shall be as dust. Come on, we have to go. Sincerely, your loving daughter, Afra Mishkin. Well, there it is. Did you say Afra as in Chief Interpreter Afra? Not clear whether she can understand you. Attention, please evacuate immediately for your own. So we'll no more go a roving. Please help us. Alas, cannot exist. Afra, there's no time. Unlatch, reseat. I'm gonna give her the locket. You should be the one to have this. Bridget seems confused at first, then she takes it gingerly in both hands, apparently entranced by it, and does not speak again. You've done what Oleg asked of you, and he'll be waiting to hear what you found. And perhaps first you should try to learn the whole truth. What was the purpose of Project Horoscope? What role did it play in Afra Michigan's fate? And how is she connected to other Afra that you met before? The only one who can answer these questions is the man whose name was stamped all over the horoscope files. Sunil Khan, the King's Speaker. I was gonna say, yeah, Afra is a character that we've met before, so why are there two Afras? Hi, Oli. How you doing today? It's good to see you. Woohoo! So let's go talk to Sunil, and then we'll talk to Oleg right after. Zoom, zoom, zoom. I love just running past all the enemies here. I suppose I might as well take this elevator up. How am I doing today? I'm a little sad. I had some fun ideas for an April Fool's stream, and it all completely fell through. Couldn't get any of it to work. Oh, whoops. Oh, this is just doing the test. Yeah. So, unfortunately, I couldn't get anything. I couldn't get any other ideas, so just playing Dread Delusion and starting Pacific Drive later as a regular stream. Very sad. Hi, Christoph. How you doing today? Maybe next year, yeah. Yeah, last year I went meta. Last year I said I was gonna do an April Fool's thing, and then I did a countdown and just ended the stream. And people were like, wait, and some people were genuinely like, wait, the stream ended right as he was about to do the thing. What was he gonna do? And that was the April Fool's joke, was that I didn't have anything. I just ended the stream after the countdown. The year before that, I said I was gonna play Elden Ring. This was like a month or two after Elden Ring came out. So I said I was gonna go live with modded Elden Ring, and then I went live playing Eternal Ring, which was also made by FromSoft, except it was made like 25 years before Elden Ring. That game was very good, actually. It was very fun. Okay, wait, so hang on. But yeah, so this year, I don't know if I should tell you guys what I had planned this year, because maybe I can get it to work next year, but I had a fun little idea. Speak quickly, citizen. My time is in high demand. Let's have a little chat about Project Horoscope. Sunil narrows his eyes at you. Am I meant to recognize that name? You should, given that Oleg's daughter was one of its alumni. Sunil looks at you with a hint of surprise. The first time you've seen him off balance. How did you? He tells Sunil what you discovered about Oleg's daughter, Afra. When you finished, he sighs. I suppose it was I who sent you on this trail. So? What is it you imagine you'll get from me? Oleg deserves to know the truth. The things recorded in the Library of Untruth are fictions. They never happened. We're discussing imaginary hypotheticals. Do you understand? Sure. It's all only a fairy tale. Oddly, Sunil smiles. In a certain land, in a certain kingdom, very far away from here. Yes, quite so. In a certain land, there was a king with magical powers. One day, the king's retainers asked if he could use his magic to transform people into their best selves. The king agreed, but first ordered a test. The king's retainers would scour the land to find 6 people who between them embodied all its variation in character and temperament. The king would then multiply each candidate 6-fold, changing every copy in a different way. The original candidates would remain unchanged to see what happened when the king did nothing. And to keep the test pure, the king would make all 36 subjects forget they were ever part of it. Oh, that's why there's several Afras. Is that why the king wouldn't grant Oleg's daughter's wishes? There is no Oleg in this tale, but yes, the fictional king we're discussing could not allow the original 6 subjects to be magically altered in any way, lest the experiment become tainted. The 6th candidate, Afra, was wild and disobedient, showing little promise, yet it was one of their copies, the 6th in fact, who proved wisest of all. And so the king was satisfied and began using his magic to create many more good and faithful subjects. There was a great sorrow when the original Afra was consumed by a plague unleashed by the king's enemies, but eventually the plague was defeated and everyone, or almost everyone, lived happily ever after. So, there ends the fairy tale, and there ends your telling of it, if you wish a happy ending of your own. This wasn't a coincidence, was it? You already knew Oleg's child was part of the project. I recognize his name, yes. My hope was that you might, at most, help him trace her fate. I never imagined you would also unearth her past. Project Horoscope laid the foundation of our current prosperity, but its nature always precluded rewarding the participants as I would have liked. Steering you towards Citizen Michigan was the least I could do for one who was given so much to this kingdom. Besides, one of his child's copies is dear to me. Or she was, once upon a time. Is this how the corruption started, with Project Horoscope? Oh? Would you care to explain your logic? If you give your king the power to alter people, then people began turning into monsters. Don't you think that's a bit suspicious? Sindel examines you silently for some time. You must think you're pretty clever indeed. Like a child who sees a house burned down and believes the wood is to blame. That the corruption is entangled with the king's powers of alteration is trivially true, and the guild has never denied it. The real question is who or what is thwarting those powers' correct operation. But it is abundantly clear that you know nothing of the king's magic, and I have better things to do than indulge the misapprehensions of children. Very well, that's all. Are we finished here? I suppose so for now. There's an early test of the Clockwork King's power to magically alter people. Yeah. So let's go tell Oleg about it. And then head to the scrapyard. I can never remember where Oleg's house is. I thought Oleg's house was further up than this place. Oh wait, is it out back here? Yes, here it is. Yeah, I think the Clockwork Kingdom is the best area so far, both in terms of looks, like enemies, and story. The Clockwork Kingdom has definitely been the coolest. I guess the next step is because now you have the 3 people. Now you can get the 3 people you need to hunt Velikalos. So I guess the next step, other than adding like a couple more fun bonus islands here and there, like he did with the graveyard in Hallowshire, I guess the next step would be the Underlands and being able to go and hunt down Velikalos. I think the general idea is that once you get Caxton Frost, he's gonna fix up the fortress and the flying ship in the fortress. And then you're going to be able to use that flying ship to not only travel to the Underlands, but also be able to travel to all of the dock, like those ship dock buildings that are in every major city and by your mansion. Because they're not available right now. They're in the game, but they're completely unavailable right now, according to the developer. Find Oleg absorbed in some kind of word puzzle. He's sober, but when he glances up, you see bags under his eyes. You again. Have you come to throw in the towel? I found your daughter. Her name was Afra. Oleg stares at you for a long time without visible emotion. You're trying to scam me. You just picked that out of some book you read. Wait, are these all true, or am I supposed to pick the right one here? I think these are just all true. She'd be 36 this year, and she works on a farm in Istrik. She wanted to come home to Ferropolis, but the king denied her. Oleg looks at the wall. He starts to reach for a bottle, then stops. Afra. What kind of name is that? Must have been Genevieve's idea. I would never have chosen it. Well, use the past tense, so I assume it's not good news. Tell him about Project Horoscope. Actually, it's complicated. You tell Oleg the story, from the cleanup camp to your confrontation with Sunil. At one point his hands begin shaking, so he hides them in his lab. I had suspicions, of course, though my forgetting was no accident. We all know the guild changes people. Normal people, not just crooks and saboteurs. If you're observant, you see signs everywhere. Only you can never be sure who's safe to tell. He shakes his head. Special project. I guess I ought to feel honored. They should have looked after her, given her an easy job, a pension. At least a fucking medal. Well then, do you still have my locket? No, I left it with your daughter. It seemed like the right thing to do. You see his temper start to flare and he opens his mouth to yell. But something inscrutable deserts him at the last moment, and he slowly sinks back into his chair, staring at the table. Pah! Sentimental crap, bud. He sighs. Perhaps it's fitting. We're not the queens of the ancient surface, buried with their belongings. Well, he looks up at you, clearly struggling for words. The way this ended is no fault of yours. You've given me answers. I'm in your debt. Wait a minute, this isn't over. Oleg's expression turns sour. What now? Can a man not be left to grieve in peace? There are versions of your daughter that survived. Don't you want to meet them? I'm happy for them, but they're not my daughters. You see, they were altered by magic, then they are new people. If they're anyone's children, they're the king's. Let its majesty look for them if it wants. Now please, no more questions. What else is there to say? Corrupted or not, after I recognized the locket, she remembered you. You gonna say that some part of her is still in there? That maybe there's a way to save her? These are foolish tales people tell themselves because they're scared of the truth. Just as a corpse may gasp and twitch hours after death, so the corrupted vomit up chunks of the person they replaced. What you spoke to was only an echo, like a ghost. Besides, what would I do? Break her out of her cage, smuggle her past quarantine, hide her in my cupboard? Then we would both be destroyed. My daughter's gone. Whatever thing has her body now, let them burn it. Now please, no more questions. What else is there to say? Ooh, maybe I can convince him to leave the Clockwork Kingdom. Don't you see you're part of this? Your job upholds the regime that got her killed. He eyes you venomously. What exactly are you saying? That this was my fault? What kind of question is that for a grieving father? You have power in this kingdom. You could do something. He slams the table. Enough! What the hell do you know about my life, about my country? You think I can just knock on the king's door and ask nicely? You think they can't find someone else who wants my job, my house? I protect this kingdom. It is outsiders like you sneaking in and out, smugglers, mercenaries, saboteurs and spies to force the king to take such a heavy hand. If everyone followed the law, none of this would have ever happened. Now please, no more questions. What else is there to say? Alright, fine. A debt like this can never be made square, but let me at least give you a down payment. Clockwork Smuggler's Key. The key was kindly donated by a smuggler we picked up. In a polite and civil conversation, he told us they'd unlocked a stolen royal freight capsule, jettisoned from his ship while flying over one of those outlying islands nobody visits. The island is only reachable by air, but you can bet there's treasure in that capsule. It was going to be my retirement plan until somehow the key vanished from our stockpile. Oh well, happens all the time. Now I must ask one more favor, not for me but for my daughter. Take this candle to the missing person's notice board after dark. Light it and let that be an end. Don't you want to be there when I light it? I'll find my own kind of ceremony. Some things must be done properly, that is all. Farewell, Oleg. Oleg says nothing. You leave him sitting in his cold little apartment, absorbed in his little puzzle. After dark, I'm guessing... I can't really tell what time of day it is right now. Light a candle for Oleg's daughter. You place Oleg's candle amongst the others and light the wick. A soft green glow suffuses the leaves of paper, each one marking a life and a name. You think about Oleg's daughter and all her sisters and all the people for whom there would never be any candles. Then you think about the faces you saw on your way here. What have they lost that they won't let themselves mourn? Whose absence do they feel without even knowing it? How many are pretending not to see the abyss for fear of being dragged in too? How many think it could ever happen to them? Behind you someone begins to sing, croaking and hesitant at first. No words, just a mournful, keening tune. Something like an elegy, something like a howl. A prayer and a promise, a hymn for the missing. Item gained, invigorating locket. If ever followed, none of this would have ever happened. Yeah, the doy. A locket that increases its rare stamina threshold, which makes long-term fatigue less severe. When opened, this locket shows a peculiar force that appears to move as if alive. There's no glass, invigorating vapors spill through. Okay. Well, here's what we'll do. Let's go sleep. It's so easy to just zoom over to somewhere where I can sleep, so I'm not going to equip that locket. It seems pointless. There really isn't that much of an effect that you take from being low stamina. At least not often enough that equipping that is better than just like going and getting some sleep every now and then. Did I just like mega run past where my house is? Oh, I did. Holy shit. I'm too zoomy. Wait, shit. This is the library, not my house. I actually did not go... I went too far past the wrong place. I just remembered my house being like a tower sort of at the end of a cliff. There we go. And now we actually have an upstairs, which is so nice. Morning, get all my mana back. Now that key that he gave me... He said something about it being on an island that can only be reached from the air, but... Is that because... he doesn't know that I've opened up the way to the corrupted lands? Because I think it's this building over here. Nope. That island there? I don't know, that might be something I can't access right now then. So if it's that or that island, I have no way of getting there. And I'm guessing that's something that's going to be added in a future patch. Or when you can unlock the flying machine with Caxton. It does look like there's a cave there and like I should be able to do stuff there, but... okay. Let's go to the graveyard. Which would be... Oh yeah, hang on, let's zoom. Because it's gonna be all the way across on the other side. I definitely do not feel like, the update says like, oh, we've just added the Clockwork Kingdom, the biggest island so far, and it definitely does not feel like it is. Hallowshire definitely felt way bigger, and took way longer to complete. Although maybe that's because I couldn't zoom around back then. Alright. What are all these pods? Oh, hello. Inside the yellow box is a mechanical console with something like an ear trumpet hanging on a curly wire. Tinny noises issue from its mouth. Pick up the trumpet and listen. You pick up the trumpet and put it to your ear. Your brain is flooded by a cacophony of jagged noise, then you realize it's some kind of otherworldly music. The music throbs in an alien time signature, defying your attempts to track its rhythm. Ghostly, inhuman voices lap over each other like waves. Feels like a memory from before the universe was made. This doesn't seem like the king's message. You'll have to try one of the other boxes. Oh. So just one of the boxes will be open and we'll have the king's message. You pick up the trumpet and put it to your ear. You can hear two people in soft conversation, their voices echoing as if from the other end of a long stone passage. There now, it'll be alright. How's it going to be alright? Lydia's just gone and nobody remembers. I feel like my brain is melting and running out of my ears. I know. All I mean is we've got each other and I ain't going nowhere. A pause. I was watching up today. Did you ever notice how many dishes we have? Enough for 5 people, not 2. Well, it helps to have extra, don't it? You know we can't afford more of anything than we need. We had an extra bed too before we sold it. And that cot. This doesn't seem like the king's message. Keep listening. I suppose it was nice to have guests round, before all this I mean. And do you remember ever having guests? A pause. How many people used to live in this house, Quessy? A long pause. I don't know. No, me neither. There's a long silence and then a series of odd little wet sounds. Oi, what are you doing? Sorry, should I stop? I didn't say stop. You hear grateful sighs, a giggle. Oh, wait, I thought it was like a guard busting in on them. I think I just heard people starting sexy time. A giggle and then a loving moan. You quickly put the trumpet down before you hear any more. Yeah. I think it switched. It was either the same 2 people or it switched to someone else. starting to get a little frisky. But I thought it was like a guard busting in on them, like, and noticing them talking about, you know, people in their family going missing. Pick up the trumpet, put it to your ear. An old man's voice echoes from the other end. Hello? Hello? Can anyone hear me? I don't know where I am. Please, it's cold. Who is that speaking? The old man doesn't seem to be able to hear you. I can't see anything. I can't feel my body. Is anyone there? Hello? Please, if anyone's there, say something. This doesn't seem like the king's message. We're also just going to go ahead and ignore that before we get traumatized by it. First you just hear hissing and then the tune that Afra hummed. A genderless voice announces with mechanical regularity. 6, 1, 6, 3, 2, break, 5, 2, 6, alder, buntum. 2, break, 4, 6. I'm going to take a screenshot of this just in case this is a code I need to know. I have no idea. The voice drones on and then repeats. This must be the king's message. You scribble down everything you can, then replace the trumpet. I'm guessing I don't actually have to have that written down. My character probably just remembers it now, but... you know, just in case. There might be a dialogue box that asks me to remember the numbers. You pick up the trumpet and put it to your ear. It's a whirlwind of noise, chattering voices, snatches of song, weird mechanical screeches. At one point you hear your own name. You hurriedly replace the trumpet. Well, that's fucking creepy. Oh, hey. Are you, what, like a caretaker? Welcome to the graveyard, pal. What brings you all the way out here? I'm here on official business. Blimey, you mean someone's actually been reading my reports? Better late than ever, I suppose. These yellow boxes, see? We've had them for years, but even the King's Speaker himself couldn't make head nor tail of them. Told me to look after them until I needed. That'll be the day. Well, a fair few ticks ago, some of the boxes started talking, and now they won't shut up. Weird stuff. Music sometimes, mind. It knows better. I knows better than to listen. Maybe you could take a look. Most of the boxes here don't talk. You'll have to listen closely if you want to find the right ones. Was there aught else? This doesn't look like any graveyard I've seen. Huh. Funny sort of gravestones, ain't they? This is where they keeps the things the Clockwork King makes what no one can find use for. Teapots, chess sets, bathtubs, grand pianos. It all ends up here. Some things nobody even knows what they are. Why Its Majesty makes them, I couldn't tell you. There's plenty of stuff people give their left arms for that ain't getting built. But it's not for me to question the logic of our king. Was there aught else? Where are we going now? Well, I got the king's message. Return to Afra in the park in Ferropolis after nightfall, yes. Ah, yeah, I was trying to remember which Afra it was that I was talking to. So, so funnily enough, a completely unrelated quest to Oleg's quest. But the whole time I'm working together with, one of the magical clones of Oleg's daughter. At least that guy doesn't stop me and shove his thing in my eye again. What the fuck? Where did you guys come from? What the hell? Why are there a bunch of silk slugs in the town? Creepy. Alright, I need it to be nightfall. And I don't feel like running all the way over to my my house. So we're just gonna pay and sleep up here. How much money do I have? 1,337. The 13-year-old in me. Oh, wait, shit, that's the wrong time. The 13-year-old in me was very happy. God damn it, I have to pay for another night. I'm so used to sleeping until morning, like, just to get my stats back. So I completely, by muscle memory, just picked morning instead of the nighttime, since that's what I need for the quest. Oh yeah, you're not petting them, you're extracting silk from them. Which is a crafting material that I basically don't need anymore. Okay, why a bunch of them are in town all of a sudden, I don't know. Very strange. Yeah, they're definitely placed here deliberately. Afra's mechanical arm gives you a fluid salutation. How goes our task, friend? Afra, I have something important to tell you about your past. Afra's brows wrinkle. My past? What do you mean? Tell her what you discovered about Project Horoscope. Afra listens intently with growing horror. For the first time since you met her, she seems at a loss for words. God's alive, that's horrible. All those Afras, they could have been me and I could have been them. They were me and I was them. Why me? Why did I deserve to flourish and they to die? I never knew I had so many sisters. I thought I was changing the king, changing the system, but the king made me? Yet it also made my sisters, left them to die. So all of us were expressions of its majesty's will. She gazes past you to somewhere far away. All my life I wondered why I was here, in this broken world. What I was for. For all my days as a young engineer, all the indignities I bore. Now I know there was a reason. She meets your eyes with a look of intense determination. Not many people have the privilege of such a purpose. What happened to my sisters must never happen again. Please, friend, help me finish this. Help me wake the kingdom from this nightmare. Now, where were we? We're seeking a second audience with the king. How else can I empower you? Why is the city full of silk slugs? She looks around. Oh dear, again? I'm afraid I had my nose in my notes on the way here. The king's affection for silk slugs is a long-standing mystery, but not our most pressing. How else can I empower you? Okay, so it is a real intended thing. I found the king's message in the graveyard. Really? She reads the transcript excitedly. Let's see. Could it... No, wait. Oh! She beams up at you. Stars aflame, so I wasn't imagining it. This confirms my analysis. The king is speaking to us, and we must show that we've heard. How did you know about that weird tune? She looks embarrassed. Oh well, it was just a guess. The king outputs so much information every day, and I just look for patterns. But I mustn't bore you. Truly, I'm interested. I get the sense there was some spark of inspiration. She seems surprised. Oh, well, to tell the truth, I had a dream about it. I saw myself walking in a graveyard following that tune and then finding... Now listen, I don't want you to think I'm some sort of crazed mystic. I spent so long buried in royal output logs I sometimes fall asleep on the parchment. I think the dream was only my mind's way of pointing out a pattern I'd missed. Anyway, back to the matter at hand. The king speaks a dialect of cipher language known as sixfold cipher. It's tremendously difficult for human brains to parse. So for your audience, you'll need a cranial moderator installed into your skull. Actually, funny story, I already have a moderator. Afra blinks, squints at you, then tilts her head back as if she's seeing you in a new light. Really? You got that from Morozov? All it took was a little persuasion. Your initiative is commendable. Well done. I've been studying the message you retrieved from the graveyard. I think Its Majesty wants us to pass it on elsewhere, but not by the usual channels. In the corrupted lands, there's a royal broadcast beacon formerly used to send signals down to the Underlands. It was abandoned when corruption overtook the area and has since fallen into disrepair. However, the king has not forgotten it. Ah! That's the building that I haven't been able to get into. That's the building that has that locked door. Unfortunately, the beacon is no longer answering remote commands, which means you, and I'm truly sorry for this, must deliver the message in person. She hands you a weighty folder of forest green leather. This is what we mechanists call a punch card. It's a way of recording information so the king can understand, in this case music. Use the punch card to open the tower door, then insert it into the apparatus at the top of the beacon. Why would you want to send signals to the Underlands? We asked the king that same question. Its Majesty was adamant that someone or something might be alive down there, and that contacting them was somehow critical to the kingdom's future. Alas, no response ever came. Anything else? That sounds incredibly dangerous. Very much so. Ordinarily I wouldn't contemplate such a journey, and I truly wish I could go myself. But if Sunil notices I'm absent for too long, our whole plan will be sunk. My advice, try not to enter any structure not fixed to the ground. Cleanup workers are your friends. If you taste lilac, turn back immediately. And if you see an eyeball, do not meet its gaze. If you need respite, I believe there's a royal cleanup camp in that area, although I've never been there myself. Anything else? How do I get to the Corrupted Lands? The Corrupted Lands are southeast of here, across a great chasm carved out by the King's machines. Officially there's no way in, but I found records of an old abandoned digging engine in the area that might offer you a path. I'll have the King conjure the access code directly into your cranial moderator. Just picture me in your mind's eye with as much detail as you can, and it'll come to you. If you say so. Fine, that's all, but if I become a monster, I'll eat you first. Entirely fair. How else can I empower you? Let's wish me luck. Okay, yeah, so now we go to that locked building. Which, hang on, I suppose my fastest way would be like this. I'll activate zoom mode too. It's not that far away, but it's not like I use mana for anything else. I have plenty of offensive spells that I just never use, because like combat is so easy in the game. Like I could still have Might 1 and I think I'd have an easy time with combat. Generally every enemy is just they run up to you and hit you, or they stand at a distance and shoot at you. With No super exciting differences. Other than how they look. Yes, I was right. Okay. Which makes sense. It did look like a giant radio tower. Long up. Welcome back, Velen. Okay. The control panel is a dizzying array of levers, dials, and buttons, many smashed or corroded. Among them is a slot-like entry port waiting for input. A howling wind whips snow and ash across your face. I hope that I'm not helping the king get in contact with Vela Kalos here. Insert the punch card with the king's message. The card jams in the slot, but you give it a good shove. For a moment, nothing happens. The whole tower begins to vibrate. Needles jump back and forth along their dials. A transistor bursts in a shower of glass. One by one, indicator lights go green as the beacon reconnects with its long-lost king. Above you, the giant antenna crackles into life and emits a pulse of silent sound, built in your belly rather than heard. The pulse continues at regular intervals, singing a song that only your bones can hear, broadcasting a monarch's lonely cry down into the underlands. Suddenly, the control panel crackles and squeals before emitting a distorted voice. You! Stop what you are... and listen. Afra, is that you? The voice is unnaturally deep and toneless, as if it's been modified to disguise who it belongs to. No, this is not Afra. Consider us an interested party. Maybe this is the saboteur. We have been watching you through King's eyes. We know about Afra and her... Do not trust her. Her punch card must not... That's rich coming from someone who won't reveal their identity. We cannot maintain much longer. If you wish to find a market trader named Reza down in Ferropolis, you can ask the 7th letter. What was that about the 7th letter? There's no answer, save for the roar of static. Okay, I'm starting to get really worried that Afra is trying to get in contact with Vela. Okay, and it's because of that suspicion that we are going to meet this... We're going to meet this Reza... Oh, whoops. Well, that's what happens when you zoom too fast. I forget that that bridge, doesn't have any railings. Hi, Tino. Good to see you, buddy. It's been a couple of days now. Are you liking the game? Yeah, I mean, I'm just about to finish the last of the early access content, I think. Which is a shame, because now I love the game and I'm glad I played it, but I kind of wish I'd waited to play it until it was out of early access. Because I'm gonna finish the Clockwork Kingdom and then I'm gonna be out of content until the dev adds, you know, the Underlands and hunting down Vela. I don't know if I'll be able to keep the save or keep playing on this save when that comes out, or if I'll have to replay the whole game at that point. Oh yeah, dude, we're fucking zooming, Actino. But how are you doing today, Actino? Hope you're having a good day. It's the spell plus the agility bonus I get from my house, plus the fact that I've maxed out my own agility. Market trader named Reza in Ferropolis. Okay, now when you say market trader, I think of the market down here. Madame Lescaut. Hey, I know. Trader looks nervous. Okay, that's the same guy. You don't have anything. It did say market trader in Ferropolis, right? Oh, hello. Wait, hang on. Weapon? Weapon! Fuck are you, you glaiked wee scroat? Oi, weapon! Why are you shouting weapon? They squinted you, unsure of your intentions. Weapon! Weapon's my pet. So-called because he's a pure spanner, like. Weapon! Come here, you wee dauber. Oh. I thought he was selling weapons or he wanted to, like, buy a weapon or something. Not worked out something to get it to chill. Do you have any ginger? or whiskey. That's what those are my two go-tos for acid reflux. Market trader named Reza. Where would I even find? Had some ginger ale and it didn't help. Damn. Yaxamir. Borshi. Damn, just saying like a market trader doesn't exactly narrow things down for me. Vidal. Wait, can I tell him about Nadja? You have any news? Yasmin is going to start selling Nadja's vision from home. I thought you should know. I take it Dr. Prip wasn't able to cure her then. It'll be a difficult change for Nadja's mother, but bravo to her for making a go of it. Naturally, I'll do everything I can to set her up. In fact, if she's willing to sell through me, I won't charge her any distribution fees for the first year. Vidal kept a sight of your expression. I mean, for the first 3 years. Vidal sighed, sounding rather less chirpy than usual. What else can I do for you today? Okay. You can tell me where this Reza is. They gesture dramatically up at the teapot in the sky. It's an omen, I tell you. A sign from the king. Didn't I tell you all? None of us are free of fault. Not one. What is this teapot everyone's talking about? No fucking idea. Wait, maybe Reza... Hang on, actually. Maybe Reza is, in here somewhere. Welcome back, Drake. Like in here? Are you Reza? No. None of these guys are Reza. I've talked to you before. They're just playing some game. How the fuck am I supposed to find this character? Oh yeah, that's just where you sleep. Ask you to find a market trader named Reza in Feropolis and mention the 7th letter before or after returning to Afra. Am I gonna... This is embarrassing. Am I gonna have to fucking Google the location of this character? There's so many fucking characters around town. Am I actually just supposed to run around and press E on every single one? Where haven't I looked? That's where Afra is gonna be. These the houses. This is not Ressa, right? You? No. I don't even know where to check anymore. Like they specifically said market trader. I've been to every store and I've been to the market. I'm gonna just check the discussion, see if I can get some kind of a hint. If I just search for Reza. Help me find Reza. Oh, wait, what the fuck? Okay, bottom of the city and then a doorway, apparently. So, I guess inside somewhere I've already been down here. In here? Not in there. Where was the other doorway? Here? Yeah, I've been in here before already. Okay, so not here. Where is Reza? There's a doorway down there that's pretty hard to spot. If you go to the guy who forgot where his home is, look at him, turn left, and go down that way. Look at him, turn left, go down this way. This doorway? Oh, shit! Is this the door that was locked that I could never figure out how to... Oh. I thought I remember there being 2 doors down here. I guess there's 3. Jesus Christ, okay. Well, alright, at least we found her. You see a middle-aged person with nut brown skin and an eye patch, dressed in an eclectic patchwork of colorful fabrics. You can't quite figure out their gender, which seems deliberate. Well, hello there, child. Come to browse? Who are you? The name's Reza, child. Fortune teller, trinket vendor, and listener on many grapevines. For a price, I can sell you talismans of luck and protection. Or perhaps even give a little advice about your problems. What kind of problems do you mean? Everyone's problems are different, child. To truly help a person, there must be trust, I'm new here, and this place terrifies and confuses me. I'd be glad for your guidance. They examine you, then their expression softens. I'm sorry, child. I can only imagine. This is not a good place for travelers, is it? Everyone must deal with the king now and then. In my long life, I'm lucky to have learned a little of its majesty's ways. So I help people with their problems as best I can. Nothing illegal, just advice. I can coach you to file an appeal that the guild will treat as high priority. Diagnose misfiring magic in your building's heating engine. Interpret a royal proclamation you can't make sense of. Perhaps even point you towards a friendly mechanist. I never cheat. No. I only help people find the path where everyone ends up happy. So you see, child, I too, in my own way, am a servant of the king. Actually, I had a confusing encounter with the king just recently. To listen to your tale. Oh, my child, quite an ordeal, Show me your hand. Reza traces their bony fingers gently along the lines of your palm, humming a hypnotic tune, and swinging a cipher-inscribed vacuum tube back and forth on a sprocket chain. The king has sensed that a terrible destiny stalks behind you, matching your step. You chase a strange star, your quarry seeks to exhume the grave of history and rewrite the music of time. Perhaps its majesty believes you have a role to play here in the kingdom, too. They release your hand, smiling kindly. Or perhaps it's a mistake. The king does make them, you know. Well, child, do you see anything else that interests you? What are you selling? Why, charms and trinkets to attract the favor of the Clockwork King, or ward off its majesty's displeasure. Look here. This cogwheel is plucked from the king's own belly, inscribed with sacred six-fold cipher. Worn around your neck, it will grant you fortune at summoning stations. Or this incense, burn it while you write a petition to the king, and it shall speed your request. Well, child, do you see anything else that interests you? I guess they're not actually selling anything I can buy. Hey, Nix, how you doing today? I'm looking for the 7th letter. The gaudy trader squints at you, then glances left and right to check nobody's listening. They beckon you closer. Who told you to come here? Were you followed? Why don't you tell me, since you've apparently been watching my progress? Huh, you're the lippy sort, I see. They appraise you with the remaining eye. So you're the one who's helping Afra. I see she's got your head stuffed with clockwork like a good little mechanist. Tell me, did she explain what a cranial moderator does? She said it would let me speak six-fold cipher. Ha, I'm sure. So that nobody warned you how a cranial moderator warps your thinking. Smooths out any irrational notions. Makes you look at the world like a mechanist, seeing everything as a puzzle you can solve. The biggest changes will take a few years, but mark my words, they will come. That's why I got rid of mine. You used to be a mechanist too. Yes, for many years. I even wrote some of the cipher magic that lets the king alter people. So I speak with authority when I say that countless lives depends on you defying Afra's plan. Alright, I'm listening. Don't misunderstand me. Afra's a sweet girl. We were very close once. She absolutely believes she's doing the right thing. Sadly for all of us, she's wrong. Look around you, child. See how we're all at the mercy of this infernal machine which not even the mechanist can control? Can you honestly say that what we need is more Clockwork King? However brilliant Afra's spell may be, it cannot fix the problems with the king, because the king is the problem. I feel like maybe I agree a little bit, actually. What's your alternative? Reza flashes you a crooked grin and hands you something heavy wrapped in colorful rags. I'm glad you asked. This is a different kind of spell. Inserted in place of Afra's, it will trigger a runaway fault cascade that gradually but irrevocably shuts down the king with minimum destruction. Wait, you're the saboteur, aren't you? They smile cryptically. There's no such person as the saboteur, child. Only a group of like-minded people who love this land and see no good in leaving its fate to an overgrown grandfather clock. So do we understand each other, or is there more you would know? I'm like partially because of how much the king has like fucked up the land. And because the king is trying to get into contact with someone in the Underlands. And the only one I know who's in the Underlands is Vela. I might actually shut down the king instead here. About your spell. What about it, child? What's so dangerous about Aphra's spell? Aphra's had these plans for a long time. We used to stay up so late bouncing wild DS back and forth. She believes she's been lucky and wants the same for others. I admire that about her, truly. But ask her this, under her plan, will people really be free to choose whatever changes they want? Or will there be a limit? Will the king be neutral on what changes we make, or will it have a bias? Aphra is a child of the guild. She believes in her soul that if she keeps tinkering, she can design a perfect system. If only she understood how much they have stolen from her. You still have questions, child? Everyone here depends on the king. If you kill it, many people will die. He grimace. I won't pretend otherwise. There will be chaos and much suffering, and certainly death. I only ask you to consider how many more could die if you keep the king in place. We'll never know how many people the king has altered to make them better workers. My former colleague saw people's baser instincts as an impediment to progress, so he chose to scrap the people and build another. But child, in my trade you learn a lot about people. Most folk want to help each other. It is this vile contraption breathing down their necks that stops them, making us fear each other, envy each other, denounce each other for one more day's bread. Without the king, our fate will rest again upon each other's shoulders. There's no work of Cypher that I trust more than that. It's all we really have and all we need. You still have questions, child? About you and your cause. I'll tell you whatever I can without endangering my comrades. The machinists say you're the reason for the king's problems. Reza snorts. Hogwash. Child, I know what the king is made of. I could recite every syllable of its cipher nucleus by heart, although to do so would be most unwise. Do we sabotage the king when we believe it will do good? Certainly. Do we divert royal goods to distribute fairly in our communities? Yes, sometimes. But are we the root of the king's madness? Don't make me laugh. We could toil for decades and cause fewer faults than the king itself generates before breakfast. Only a truly stupid machinist can believe we're anything more than an excuse for their failures. You still have questions, child? You were a machinist too. What makes you any better than Aphra? Reza grins crookedly. Now you're asking the right questions. Yes, I accept my share of blame for the mess this kingdom is in. Luckily, I do not work alone. Although this spell was drafted by my hands, it's the work of many minds. Most of my comrades, whom you will never meet, are ordinary layfolk. I pledge my magic to serve them, not the other way around. Do you know why I was chosen to give you this punch card? Because I'm the most expendable. The machinists already know very well who I am. Do you still have questions, child? Why did you leave the Machinist Guild? They sigh deeply. Child, did you ever hear that old fairy tale about the boy who got a splinter of a mirror in his eye that made him cold and cruel, seeing only the worst in things? The king wields unimaginable power, far too much for any one being. In my youth, I thought that this made the guild more important, that we had a duty to use such power wisely. But when you make so many life or death decisions every day, when you see people's darkest secrets piled up in stacks every morning in the royal archives like so many freshly cut logs, you grow numb to it. You forget what the stakes are. I do not like what I saw reflected in my colleagues' eyes or in my own. Okay. I'm not gonna... well, I mean, I'll ask it just out of curiosity, I suppose. What's in it for me, following this plan? Ressa snorts. A reward! Child, by the time you enter that audience chamber, I'll be gone, either dead or in hiding. Perhaps the guild has told you about all the sacks of gold we get from the Apathetic Union? I've never seen a penny of it, and neither have my comrades. Any resources that we do possess will be needed in the days ahead. You must do this because it's right, or not at all. Do we understand each other, or is there more you would know? Very well, I'll consider what you've said. That's all I ask, child. Don't trust Aphra and don't trust me either. Just do what you think is right. Yeah, no, I'm on the side of, like... this king has been fucking with its people and the kingdom for too long. And... I can't see any other reason to contact the Underlands other than trying to get into contact with Vela Kalos, so... I think we're gonna shut down the king. Return to Aphra. Shit, I don't think it's nighttime. There it is. Yeah, yeah. Oh, ah, goddammit. I don't know why I, like, stopped middle of the air there. Hello, I would like to rent a room, please. Thank you. Again, too lazy to run over to my house. At least I don't lose my my agility bonus. It's not on some kind of in-game timer. It's on a real-time timer. So I can sleep all through the night and I won't have lost any of the time on it. Ephra peers up into the sky, her brows furrowed in contemplation. Gesture skywards. Is this normal? She tears her eyes away from the celestial teapot. No, I would certainly say this is new. I still haven't seen the teapot in the sky. I've looked up. What does it mean? I confess I'm struggling. Is it a sign, an instruction, a response to our broadcast? But then why a teapot? He shrugs helplessly. I've checked and rechecked my calculations. All we can do is stick to the plan. Oh yes, I almost forgot. The king has summoned you for another audience just as we hoped. Ephra hands you a leather folder far heavier than the last. Here it is, friend. 8 years of my life and the hopes of a kingdom now rest in your hands. Friend, I don't know what will happen after this, so if you have any concerns, now's the time to voice them. What do I do with this punch card exactly? When you return to the Machinarium, the audience chamber will be open. Insert my punch card into the king's petition port, and my magic will do the rest. Anything else? I still have questions about your spell. How much freedom to change will your spell really allow? Initially, a defined set of about 100 qualities can be changed, with hard limits on things like height or density. The king won't do anything that directly endangers your life or another's, so you can't become an 80-foot giant with no lungs. Other qualities will become changeable in time once the spell has proved its worth. Most of these rules can be modified by a vote of more than half the kingdom. Wherever possible, I have favored incentives over hard limits. After a trial period, you'll be stuck with your changes for a year, so you'll have to think carefully. Other incentives will ensure an optimal distribution of qualities for the whole kingdom. What do you mean by optimal for the whole kingdom? All individuals must be free to choose their fate, but from society's point of view, you don't want everyone to be an artist or indeed a carpenter. Past kingdoms solved this through conscription, slavery, or rigid social rank. Brutal methods for a brutal age. Under my system, the king will monitor the overall balance of qualities and provide incentives for those that are in shortage. So if too many people have made themselves mercurial and creative, the king may offer rewards for constancy and pragmatism. If too few have the temperament for farm work, the king may incentivize that temperament. This feels very much like Big Brother controlling the masses, filling quotas. I don't like the sound of it. Even if it's like purely on paper, statistically, the best like distribution. I don't know if it's worth giving up that level of freedom. Would that lead to the same kind of mass rewriting the mechanists already do? I don't believe so. There's nothing wrong with asking people to compromise with the needs of their community. What's important is that they're free to say no. I mean, yeah, I guess as long as they can say no. I don't know. I still don't like it. What about mistakes? If your new king goes mad too, how will anyone stop it? The current faults demonstrably stem from specific errors in our previous spells, born from wishful neglect of fundamental principles. That Sundal denies this does not make it false. There's a saying within the guild, which would be seditious if repeated in public. Drek in, drek out. It means that if you give the king faulty input, you get a faulty result. Yet the reverse is also true. With properly enumerated powers and properly specified goals, the errors you describe will never arise in the first place. My spell will create a self-balancing, self-correcting equilibrium, capable of adapting itself to new circumstances. I spent 8 years planning this. I'm certain it's sound. Yeah, I'm not so certain. I don't trust that at all. Does that all make sense? What if a good king isn't possible? What if that much power can't ever be just? Heavens, you sound just like the saboteur. I admit I ask myself the same question when the hour is late and sleep eludes me. But I've seen the power of cipher magic to save a life. Without it, I would have been locked forever inside the person I used to be. How can we just walk away from that? We don't chew our meat raw because fire can raise our towns. We don't renounce the axe because it chops necks as well as trees. We don't spurn the wheel when it crushes a child's hand. I refuse to accept abstention as our only choice. I will not surrender to the hunger and despair that have hitherto plagued all history. I will not relinquish the dream of the first mechanists to those who have forgotten it. Does that all make sense? That's all the answers I wanted. Is it possible for someone to hijack the king's machines? Hijack them? Yes, theoretically that's entirely possible. All royal installations run on cipher magic, and like any language, cipher can be twisted. Why do you ask? Don't worry, just curious. I have what I need. I'll let you know how it goes. Ephra smiles, failing to conceal her anxiety. I'm counting on you, friend. Yeah, you know what? I think you're gonna regret that. I think you're really gonna regret that. That's not it. They're both making good points. I'm just way more suspicious of Ephra. And, I think destroying the Clockwork King and letting everyone go back to being the same as any other kingdom, even if there's going to be an adjustment period, is a lot better than risking making things worse or keeping the king around, which clearly hasn't been doing a very good job so far. In fact, it's been doing a horrible job. And it's put a lot of people in pain in the first place. So I think getting rid of the king is the more right choice. I could be wrong. I don't have all the info, but that's just the gut feeling I have right now. Alright. The machine shrieks like a million condemned souls as the feeling of pressure mounts in your body once more. Then your cranial moderator clicks into action. Suddenly the noise becomes an intelligible chorus. Incoming messages, outgoing commands, distant outposts requesting connections or announcing faults. There's so many faults. You're standing in the brain of this awful machine and it's bleeding to death. Rejoice and exult. The invocation is caused. All hail Its Majesty Machinus Rex, the Clockwork King. Welcome back, subject. I keep forgetting the number. Thou mayest rise. Hast thou completed the sacramental duty? Not yet, Your Majesty. Pondering. Judgment. The duty remains unfulfilled. Dost thou require instructions as to thy task? That won't be necessary, thank you. Okay, yeah. Don't have time. Oh, I thought, okay, yeah, see, that was all just a bunch of, like, bullshit tea recipes. I thought that I made a mistake talking to the king and there was something else I needed to interact with here, but no. This is it. This is the right choice. Your Majesty, the guild has sent me to give you a new spell. Pondering. Judgment, we have not requested a new spell, therefore we demand, on whose authority comest thou here? It's necessary for the sacramental duty. Pondering. Judgment. The sacramental duty is of paramount gravity. Therefore, edict, thou shalt insert the spell into our petition port. An ivory cover swings upwards, revealing 2 vertical slots of different sizes. You slide the punch card easily into the larger slot. Halfway in, it meets resistance and is sucked inside. A saying spell. Beware. Enacting this spell will alter Our Majesty's cipher nucleus and the consequences cannot be divined. Wilt thou commit? Commit. There's a burr of rapid clicking, then a series of deep clunks echoes through the whole tower. Above your head, a cacophony of bells rings out like a call to worship across the whole city. Rejoice and exult, the spell is enacted. As it is written, so it shall be. In the name of Its Majesty Machinus Rex, the Clockwork King. Subject, thou carries the second spell. Augury, conflicting spells may cause cascading reality, exception. 65% confidence. Therefore, edict, thou shalt insert this heretical spell into our petition port for controlled annihilation. I don't trust that. No, fuck you. No. You figured out that I'm trying to kill you, and now you want me to input the fix. Reza did not say anything about inputting both spells. I'm not giving you anything. Judgment, incorrect. Sharp, sweet lightning dances across your body as the other punch card flies out of your pack and into the king's petition port. Oh, well, I guess I didn't have a choice. Aphra's spell is sucked away into the guts of the Clockwork King, and with it her hopes of a world where magic serves all. Now, subject something. The sacramental duty. Above the bells, you can hear anger shouting from outside the chamber. You realize the scrolling parchment contains a record of your acts. I'm gonna slice it out with my blade. Alas, parchment feet fault. The king's writing arm stabs at your hands as you pull the last few yards of parchment out and stuff them into a gap in the gears down in the depths of the machine. New parchment continues to spill out onto the floor, while the arm scrawls desperately. Edict, to disturb the parchment is anathema. Edict, to disturb the parchment is anathema. Edict, to disturb the parchment. Oh, did you finally die? Fuck your parchment. New parchment continues to spill out onto the floor while the arm scrawls desperately. I'm not sure what happened here. You enacted the Saboteur spell upon the Clockwork King, ending its tyranny. Okay, yeah, so it is gone. So wait, why did the second spell also get sucked in? What was the point of that? I'm confused. Thanks for lurking, Ollie. Am I about to get attacked by everyone? Hey, you killed your king. Speak quickly, citizen. My time is in high demand. Oh, Well, you don't even seem aware of what's going on, so... Easy way to clean up a quest item out of the player's inventory? I guess, but then why give me the choice of trying not to insert it? I thought that the king was like, because the king was trying to work with Afra. The king was like, "Oh, you're trying to sabotage me. If Afra's spell is inserted, then it'll get like it'll be fixed." Fuck, I don't know. You find Afra humming to herself. It's a haunting tune, somehow familiar and ethereal all at once, like a lullaby from time's own beginning. At the sight of you, hope and anxiety blossom on her face. Is it done? I heard the bells. It's done. I inserted your punch card. For a moment you think she'll see through your lie, but she really wants to believe you, and so she does. You really did it. We did it. Oh gosh, this is real. He closes her eyes to take a long deep breath, then exhales. Well now, I promised a reward, didn't I? You can keep my Machinist Guild insignia. I'll pretend I lost it. And please take this too. I suspect you can find a use for it. Oh shit, what did she give me? What happens now? We're still here, which means I wrote the spell correctly. The vanishing should stop immediately, and some memories of the vanishing will return over time. Within a few months, my other reforms will take effect. I expect there may be rather a commotion once people realize how much has been stolen from them. And without the power to erase their critics, my colleagues will struggle to suppress it. So perhaps we'll have a new speaker, or a new guild, or something entirely different. Who knows? The future is open again. Glad I could help. Farewell, Afra. Thank you again, friend. I can't tell you... Afra blinks, then looks up at the sky. Well, fancy that. Do you see it? The snow. The snow stopped falling. Afra smiles like she's recalling a cherished memory. Yes, our long winter is finally ending. The second spell got sucked in to dispose of it. Yeah, I mean, of course that's what he would tell me. The king gets a thing in him that kills him, and he knows that in my inventory there's a thing that can fix him. Of course he'd be like, oh hey, that other spell, the one that like repairs me and fixes me and leaves me alive. Yeah, you should put that in too, and I'll just get rid of that for you. You know, we don't need it. No, yeah, like I just assumed that he was trying to get me to put it in to enact Afra's spell instead. Our long winter is finally ending. Well, that's the Clockwork Kingdom finished. I'm not sure what I was given. Not a weapon, not a helmet. An ingenious device for the handling of lockpicks will prevent lockpicks from breaking if the attempt nearly succeeds. This device bears the stamp of the Clockwork Kingdom and was likely produced in one of their vast factories. Well, I don't think I even remotely require that. Yeah, I'm not sure what I was given. Oh, this? A formal plea for assistance from the Clockwork King, pre-approved but requiring a hefty vouchsafe of blood. Given the ongoing shortage of non-schismatic myrmidons, the issuance of this device bespeaks considerable favor with its majesty. Oh, so I can summon a myrmidon to help me with that. Unless it doesn't work because I killed the king, I'm not sure. Alright, well. I suppose that only leaves us with, going back to our base, seeing what Caxton has done. And then they're probably going to be like, alright, time for us to hunt Velakalos, and then it'll be the end of early access content. Velascanship. I guess you'll see more of an impact of killing the king further into the game as well. Once they add more content. I don't know. Okay, so Caxton is supposed to have started repairing stuff. Yeah, so this thing here, I think you'll be able to fly around and dock. Like in the next big content update, I think you'll be able to use this to fly around, get to islands you couldn't get to before, dock in cities, and also go down to the Underlands to hunt Vela. But it won't be accessible now. Okay, he hasn't repaired this up here. Maybe he only repairs this. Drat, blast, sugar, blinking, blooming, flipping, fudge. Still having trouble cursing? Alas, I fear the muse of filth has forsaken me for good. But enough of that. Are you bothering me for a purpose, or do you truly value your time so cheaply as to spend it on blooming chit-chat? I wanted to see how you're settling in. Oh, like a louse to an armpit. Who the fluff do you imagine restored this fortress in the first place? Given my abrupt departure from the Dark Stars, I suppose it's nice to be finishing the job. If only these dashed Union cretins would stop trying to assist me. As it happens, my father helped build these monsters back in the God War. The wooden parts are Londalese, but the guns, plumbing, and nearly everything metal was made in Cordova. He used to put me to sleep by reciting components and assembly procedures. So this fortress was made in the Clockwork Kingdom? Correct. Although back then it was called the Cordovan Republic. Somewhere in the guts of this thing there'll be a nameplate. Laid down in such and such a year, Progress Cordova. No gods, no masters. Funny how that one turned out. Well, that explains a lot. Glad you're feeling at home. Frost scowls. I wouldn't go that far. Will that be all? I wanted to ask you about something. Let's see if you can come up with a question I haven't heard before. About the task at hand. Ah yes, the search for my erstwhile comrades, or should I say my former targets. Either way, this reunion will be interesting. I see you've pressed old Jack Basalt back into active service. The poor fellow's currently avoiding me, which is adorable, granted. We hardly parted on the best of terms, but at some point we'll need to have a little chat. Alas, I'd forgotten how much the Duchess infuriates me. What she calls magic is merely the cant of a more primitive age. Reciting cipher spells from memory for pity's sake. It's like carrying a card on your shoulders after the invention of the wheel. I get on rather well with Orlaith, or the Emberian, as you mustn't call her to her face. Initially we despised each other, but then we had an arm wrestle and everything was tickety-boo. Since I was too drunk to remember it, I chose to believe I won. About your past? Must we? What was your life like before joining Vela? I was born and raised in Progress, back when they still called it Istrixburg. My mother made ammunition while my father toiled in the fortress works. It was dangerous, but far better than serfdom in Lundell. For the first time in history, my family was wealthier than dirt. You know, you really don't sound like a peasant. Nor would you if your childhood tongue had been torn out by your schoolmaster. The last time I saw my parents, we sounded like we came from different planets. After the God War, I studied in Bion, a scholarship funded by the New Cordovan Republic. My Union classmates were scions of barons or wealthy merchants, and they tormented me frightfully, yet I was punished merely for setting them lightly on fire. At least you left them something to remember you by. Indeed. Eventually my studies were cut short by Cordova's split from the Union, and I returned home to begin my archaeological career. Believe it or not, in those days I was more like Horace Metcalfe than the ruthless mercenary now before you. Unquestionably, these were the best years of my life. I followed my curiosity to the edge of the sky, and even to the underlands, winning great renown and no small compensation. Yet I always felt as if everything could be snatched away if I failed to deliver even once. Perhaps that's why I felt so much more at home among the outcasts, oddballs, and reprobates of the Dark Star Company. Tell me of your time as a Dark Star. Where does one even begin? We fought, we caroused, we feasted, we starved, we loved and we despised. We hurt each other, then we nursed each other. We were family, with all the best and worst implied by such a word. The Caxton Frost who stands before you is a product of those days. You had to be sharp, ruthless, avenge every insult threefold, lest others smell blood. I'm told I was actually the inspiration for the Kadish Rakehill stories, though I've never read them myself. Bella could tell I was a facade, but she was gracious or canny enough not to expose me in front of the crew, except when she was truly angry. One minute she could make you feel like you were bathed in starlight, the next like the basest of worms. Did she ever suspect you were a spy? I've often wondered. Certainly our expeditions contributed much to the kingdom's progress. Sometimes I got the uncanny sense that she knew my real purpose, yet kept me around anyway. Why she would do so I cannot say. Perhaps it was simply our shared fascination with the Emberians. She told me once I reminded her of someone who had been dear to her long ago. I never did find out who, though. How did you manage to maintain your persona? Frost snorts. Why, I'd been doing that all my life. The only difference now was the extra pay. Actually, I have my suspicions that the Clockwork King may have helped. All the time I had no idea that its majesty could alter minds, but I do recall being surprised at how quickly I took the role. Of course I could prove nothing. Let me ask you about something else. I still don't quite understand why you had to wipe your memory. Frost sighs. Frankly, I'm not completely sure myself, but consider what had led to that moment. 8 years undercover. Can you imagine what that's like? To be believable, you cannot merely pretend. One part of you must truly become the false self, while another watches from the outside, remembering your mission. I knew that if I betrayed the Clockwork King, it would never stop hunting me, yet I couldn't bear to live in deceit for one more day. Thus the inevitable conclusion. The best cover identity is one who doesn't even realize he's fake. I haven't decided whether I like being Frost again. He used to feel like armor, now he feels confining. Still, he's indisputably the man for the job, and I must admit it's easier when I don't have to be two people at once. Now, was that really your best attempt at an original question? I think you could do better. Another topic. This clockwork exoskeleton is new. It helps you walk? My, how observant you are. In fact, ambulatory support is merely one of its functions. The first incarnation was rather less powerful, but to be fair, it was rather smaller. I expect you want the whole story. After all, it's so very inspirational. Please, go on. I'll spare you the exhaustive history of my diverse ailments. Suffice it to say, I was a sickly child. The only thing my physicians agreed upon was that I must submit completely to their humiliating remedies, no matter how painful or ineffective. I disagreed, and in due course it proved that with a little technological cunning, I could treat myself better than they could. Machines, you see, actually listen to what one tells them. How people loved to hear that tale once I grew up. The mechanists loved it especially. Come to the clockwork kingdom where even a low-born invalid can travel the skies and be garlanded as the champion of the realm. True, I was dogged and ingenious, but to what purpose? Yes, I improved my capabilities, but for whose benefit? Certainly I accomplished great things, but for whom? Myself? He sneers. What a cozy thought. Sometimes I almost wish I hadn't bothered. At least then I wouldn't have been so useful. That's all. Good luck with the fortress. Just as you're turning away, there's an awkward cough. Actually, one moment, if you please. I wish to... That is, it behooves me... Dash it all, let's not prevaricate about the bush. You were quite correct to scold me back in the kingdom. The word for what I was doing is wallowing. Specifically in childish rage and self-pity. He pauses, apparently unsure what to say next. Is thank you perhaps the phrase you're looking for? Confound it, what else would I be trying to say? Bog off before I regret such wasteful sentimentality. Well, I suppose then that, Well, this says I need to go meet the quartermaster in the wobbly noggin. Have I actually just run out of content now? Like, is there nothing else for me to do? No one else I can talk to? Ugh. I like how this entire time he's just sitting here doing nothing. I mean, because going and talking to the Captain Basalt in the wobbly noggin, that was one of the first things we did. Like that was before I met any of the former Darkstars. I think that's just this is just gonna like update to going to the Underlands when the next big content drop happens. Oh wait, hang on, what am I doing? He was in here. Nope. Oh, I think he was sitting over here. Yeah, no, I think I'm just done. I think we're just out of content. Gotta wait for it to come out of early access or just for more content to be added. I mean, I guess